Okay, so getting back to this topic. Shit. Just forgive me because I can't really do things the way I want to here, so. Fuck. All right. So people keep asking about Kamala's dad and her background. And this is framed in a way that makes me want to barf my brains out because I don't know what's going on between Camel Toe and Daddy and her daddy. My guess is they just drifted apart and don't have time for each other based on each of their personality types. Another thing with regard to that video I posted concerning where Owens is shocked. Candace Owens is shocked that her ancestors slept around Jim. It would have been her great grandparents, I believe. I mean, because like I said, the age don't go there with me, Kamala. And this isn't that hard for Owens to figure out. Ow, son of a bitch! I just got my hand caught him in chair. Okay, so it's not that hard to figure out. And if I was just a tad more ambitious at the moment, I'm actually trying to walk again right now, and I'm focusing all my energy on that. I know that sounds weird, but um, I'm kind of on a slant. Uh, I don't use my crutches in the house all the time, which is the first. And that's, I mean, I don't even want to, like, I can't handle talking about myself anymore and my issues because it's, blah. I just don't want to. No offense. I mean, if you want to know a specific question, I'd be glad to answer it, but I don't care to. Well, if I was Candace Owens, I'd be doing a video every day of my progress with a private physical therapist next to me. I can't. So anyway, let's get to this Kamala Harris shit. Now, Larry, what's his name? Not Sinclair. Oh no, Gators did some shit on her a while back, and then kind of stopped reporting on it. And I don't know what he's up to these days. And I hear that his daughter was on Jason Goodman's show, and there's some shit there that I believe he basically abandoned his family, and I don't really have a respect for a person that does that. So I'm going to end it there. So here's all too common a tale. A father and daughter who live in the same city might be as well as a million miles away, having drifted apart for whatever reason. Well, one or the other is going to be stubborn, nasty, and a bitch, which we could maybe guess that. Um, well, she seems like one, but who cares? And plus, she's been in California. She's only been, well, she's been in D.C. as a senator, and then um, uh, in Cali and in Canada. I don't know, like, what the situation is between Joe Camel, and her daddy, but it seems like they've been around. Oh, this is what I was going to say. That um, something like some records show that she has a lot of siblings, and there are a lot of bastards, children, and stuff like that, and then that was very common in Jamaica. Yeah, it was also common in Kenya, where Hussein Obama's daddy fathered like 20 children. So it's like we already had this kind of a president, and we're going to end up having it again because they're not going to let my guy win, And his speech today in Milwaukee was in a city of several million. It just was so flat, and it was like somebody gave him a Valium right as soon as he got up this morning. I don't know. Okay, and I know I'm kind of going in circles here myself right now. Okay. This particular domestic fissure is suddenly now more poignant. No, this is such a load of shit from the Daily Mail. The daughter in question is okay. It doesn't matter. While Kamala Harris campaigns from her West Wing office, which I think I already read this, she actually legally would not be able to campaign from her West Wing office. She'd have to be doing it from a separate office. So that's part of election law in the U.S. And she's probably doing it, but legally, to put it out there like that, this just shows how stupid people are. Her 86-year-old father, Donald J. Harris, and by the way, I made a mistake in my last video. My dad would have been 92, not 93. He'd be 93 by the end of the year, but he would not be 93 yet. So, Joe Camel, okay, whatever. Her father, Donald J. Harris, owns a home less than a mile away. Despite the proximity, however, there is no record of Donald meeting his famous daughter in the White House. Well, how would you know that? He could use a pseudonym, and God knows that whole Biden White House ran fast and loose. You had Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is advising the presidency right now. A crack man. His name does not appear on any of the publicly available visitor logs. Well, that doesn't mean jack shit then. She looks like him. She's had a lot of work done, but that jawline, I wouldn't want to inherit that. But she did. But she had fat removed or something to try her, whatever. She's not campaigning from her West Wing office. I wish they wouldn't say that because it's just so stupid. And again, I look at this picture. She's a baby there. I'd say one. Any guess? This picture of him looks a little more doesn't look 1965, 66. And the color is really good. And the pants, I'm not so sure of. And the shirt, I could see. I don't know. That picture just is off to me. It seems almost too. It looks more 1970s, and that could be any kid. And any man. What I'm saying here is I don't believe this is Donald J. Harris based on his chin, and I don't believe that's camel toe. That's what I'm saying. This man's nose and chin are much different. See what I'm saying? Let's look at the forehead. Well, he's bald there. I'm not so sure, guys. Your thoughts? And he's wearing a pinky ring. What man would wear a pinky ring in 1965, 66? See, this is what I'm saying. And his famous daughter. Nor are there any recent public photographs of the pair together. I think we just saw one, but that's okay. I wouldn't want pictures out there of my family personally, but if you have an elderly, I can't look at this. She's supposed to be 5'8". She's supposed to be 5'7". You think there's a problem with that? This just makes me want to vomit everything up that I ate today, which wasn't a lot. We're going to come back to this too. It is, of course, possible VP privately hosted her father. Okay. I think the point of this story here is that he lives a half mile or a mile, we'll say a half to a mile away from the White House, where she supposedly is campaigning out of it, which you're not supposed to be doing. Can you imagine if that was Donald Trump? Ah, and then we have, I guess, Doug Emhoff got the babysitter pregnant. You know, these people are not, they're not people who we want in the White House. It's all I can say. Just, I'm really getting tired and I've got to finish some stuff yet. And uh, something else I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. So he's like within a mile. Okay. So why doesn't someone find out where he lives and knock on his door? Uh, okay, so the Irish slave trader thing, it's not her great, 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 great. That would be like in the 1600s, right? Uh, Vice President Kamala Harris is the descendant of a notorious Irish slave owner and human. Am I? Mm, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. Uh, Joe Camel, who is of Indian and Afro and Jamaican, is the great, 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 great. No, that's not true. That's not true. It's her great grandfather, Hamilton Brown. Not her great, 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 because we've already established in my last video that, you know, oh my God, I can't do it. Um, that would be going back like centuries. And the Civil War, where did we look the Civil War up? Here, I think Civil War. So the years of the U.S. Civil War were from 1861 to 65, and I had kind of like predetermined, but I'm not. I have information here that I could start digging through, but I mean, I have two residences where I keep stuff plus my storage locker, but I have a lot here. And when I said postcards before, I meant postcards with addresses written to my great aunt. Well, my before they got married, while my great uncle was over in France in World War One. And there are like so many. And then I have actual pictures of my great uncle. Um, okay. So this would be my grandmother's brother on a U.S. Navy uh, mission in the North Atlantic Sea, and they were minesweepers after World War One or during. Kind of eerie looking at those pictures because I kind of see myself there. A little bit eerie. Um, but I mean, I have the dates and the postmarks on these things. Now, so the Civil War was between 1861 and 65. And my dad's family was in Missouri, or was it Nebraska, or both before they came up here. I have some of that stuff. And then my mom They were in Iowa, I believe. Um, but I mean, I have a lot of this stuff that I know I keep saying this, but I mean, I know I have it because I was skimming through it, and I, I need to really super concentrate on some of this shit. I just don't want to throw it together in a pile and just say, oh, I had everything organized and categorized, and then I got run over by a truck. Uh, so if this would have been when my great grandparents were alive, and I'm the same age as Camel Joe, you know, and then if you're going great, 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 there'd be no way of that. That's insanity. That's covering ass. But it was Hamilton Brown. I'm going to have to be careful what I say here. White Irish trade slaving business that enriched her family. Now, I believe this came out of um, County Antrim, but I'm not sure. And I don't know if I'm allowed to read this on YouTube, unfortunately. But it does say if you are a descendant of Hamilton Brown, slaves, please seek Kamala and her sister for your reparations check. She's a despicable Jamaican family attorney, plantation owner, heritage of enslaving. Am I allowed to say this on YouTube? Many thousands of Africans, Creole, Irishmen, women. Anyway, he sent ships to lure his SLAVES with lies, deceit, and false promises, just like George Soros lures migrants along America's southern border. God. And here's a map. Okay. I thought he was in Northern Ireland, but I'm not sure. Oh, this is interesting. So I'm telling you about, my real American history, but hers was going back into all kinds of crap that isn't, it's not, I'm proud to be an American, in my opinion. So I should end the video before I say something that I would have, that someone would be pissed at.